Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the MindShare podcast. Now, this is the first live episode we've done in some time. And of course, if you're a regular listener to the show, you know we've been doing a lot of solo episodes, just you, me, and well, this microphone, and a lot of what goes on up here that tries to help you build a lot more MindShare to get more market share. Well, today is a very special episode for us. It's actually become somewhat of a tradition around here. For the fourth year in a row, MindShare 101 is proud to be very proud, like extremely proud, to be a main sponsor of the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation motorcycle ride for charity. Now, I've also personally ridden in the event over the past 3 years, and we are getting ready to do it all over again. But as much as we're going to talk about motorcycles today, which of course is very near and dear to my heart. This conversation really is about something that's a lot bigger than that. It is about giving back. It is about the communities in which we all live and work. And it's about the growing need for support across Ontario, particularly when it comes to shelter and food insecurity. And it's about what can happen when an entire profession of amazing people comes together and collectively says, how can we help? So joining me today is Shannon Ketelaars, Executive Director of the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation. This is episode number 398. All righty, Shannon, welcome to the MindShare podcast. Maybe welcome back to the MindShare podcast. Have we had you physically on this show before?
Yes, a couple of years ago, and we really appreciate the repeat. So thank you very much.
Oh my God, are you kidding? It is an absolute pleasure. You know how much I love, first of all, I love what the ORCF is up to. The group of people is absolutely amazing. You know, the causes and what everybody's coming together for it's just, again, I don't know. I almost run out of words when I say it to you because I've said it to you for 4 years in a row now. And I remember the first time I reached out to you, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? I got to be involved in this. But absolutely amazing. Now, let's start at the beginning right here, because I still think there are a lot of people across the industry who have heard the name Ontario Realtors Care Foundation, but don't necessarily understand exactly what you do. So for anybody who may not be familiar with it, what is the ORCF, the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation?
Yeah, I would love to tell you. So the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation is the charitable arm of realtors across the province of Ontario. And so we fundraise in support of shelter and food insecurity within those communities where those realtors live and work. And in 2025, we raised over $2.5 million and supported over 220 charitable organizations in the communities where you live. So it's been incredible.
There's a lot of money to be raising.
It is.
There's a lot of amazing people coming together to raise that money, because I know it's not just you, it's not just me, like it's not just a few people. There are a lot of people involved and really putting in the effort.
There are, absolutely. And we've got some great donors. We've got some great volunteers, great realtors across the community. Our boards and associations are so engaged in the work that we're doing. It's an incredible opportunity for us.
It really is. Now tell me, tell everybody, why should realtors care about the foundation and the work that it supports? And I mean, look, I know that might go without saying and be like, hey, it's obvious, we're helping people. But tell us from your view, because I know when you guys sit in the back rooms and, you know, you do all the planning and all the tireless work that goes into, you know, really trying to raise the funds and put together these great causes. Again, why should realtors really care about the foundation and really what it's supporting?
I mean, I think when you look at what the foundation does and who we support, it's a really great fit with realtors in general. So realtors, you know, they really help people find a safe place to have a home every day, but not everybody has that opportunity to have a safe home, a safe place to call their home, or even nourishing food to eat. So we all know that the cost of living has risen significantly in our province, in all of Canada, because all over the world. And we've really reached a crisis level. And the two buckets of funding that we support are the two that have been hit the hardest, right? Shelter and food insecurity. we're also hearing a lot from our charitable partners that they're really struggling, and they're having families coming into the food banks, for example, that are having to choose between, paying their rent or their mortgage and putting food on the table. And I really feel like if we're in a position to help, and most realtors are, then we do have a bit of an obligation to do so if we can.
It's a great point we bring up there. And I think that when we think in that word help that you just used, that's a big one.
Yeah.
When I ask our industry and I ask people individually or ask groups or, from a stage, like, what do we do? What do you do in a day? A lot of times what you get from people is, I buy real estate. I sell real estate. Like I sell real estate. Let's say something simple like that. And the reality is, no, you don't. What we do in this industry is we help people buy and sell real estate. Now that's the beauty and the extension of what we're doing here. What's so important about this is that for the people that cannot buy and sell real estate, we are still here to help. We are still here to help you find shelter. We are still here to help you find a home. We are still here to help you find comfort and safety for your family.
Agreed.
And I know that might sound very high level for some people. Realities are, though, and look, this may be totally different, but it's like when Jennifer says to me, why are you still involved on the board of directors for the baseball association that your son no longer plays with? Well, because they need help, right? And when good people get together with other good people to do something, to volunteer their time and their effort, amazing things happen for some other amazing people that really need it.
And very small donations and very small steps make a huge difference when it's, added to the small steps that everyone else is doing, right? So it's accumulative.
Well, here, and you said it too. It's like most realtors have the ability to help.
Right.
I want to make it very clear to everybody tuned in. We're not just talking monetarily.
Correct.
This could be the effort. This could be the voice. This could be the physical help with something, right? The involvement that we can do. And that's exactly, again, for me, and here I'll come back to it, right? When I say why I love the ORCF so much, this is about bringing the entire industry together. Say, look at what we as an industry are doing to help our community. Now, Shannon, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that realtors themselves might have about the foundation?
So I think there's a couple, actually. I think the biggest one is the misconception that we are collectively part of CREA's Realtor Care, right? So CREA has their own Realtors Care Foundation, and we are Ontario Realtors Care Foundation. So although it sounds very similar, we do very different things. So the CREA Realtors Care really focuses on that volunteerism piece and the charitable work that realtors are doing across the province. We really focus more on, raising funds and making that difference monetarily in those communities where the realtors live and work, and for those charitable organizations there. So that's a little bit different. I think the other big misconception is that we continue to still be part of AREA. So, 4 years ago, the two boards of directors of the ORCF and the AREA decided to make a separation, but in a positive way, because they saw the capacity that they were able to support. And they really helped steer us to a place where we actually will be able to still increase what we're doing, make a bigger difference, make a bigger impact. And they're really helping us to do that. So there's been a bit of a separation there.
Okay. So it's good that we're clarifying so people fully understand. And also an important time to mention that, the ORCF really does complement any charitable work that is already happening throughout the profession, rather than competing with it. Right. So if you are already involved with something, if you've already got an event that you put together, you're already raising funds for something, I encourage you as somebody in the industry is to, get in touch with the ORCF, get in touch with Shannon, with her team, and really learn about how could you get the ORCF involved. And I'll put it out there, Shannon, and you can completely correct me if I say this in the wrong way. From what I've learned over the years is that if I've got something that I'm already doing, and I've got a organization that I'm contributing to, the ORCF is not coming in to take any of those dollars and reallocate them. The ORCF is simply there almost as I might say from the simplest form, some muscle to help me with my event, to help me get the word out there. And then collectively, everything I do from my event actually just comes together from a totality of what we as an industry have done together.
That's true. And what we really are looking to figure out is what that collective impact of realtors are across the province, right? So we know they're out there. Pardon?
What do you mean by that?
Well, the collective, because we know that the realtors out there are doing a lot of their own work. They're donating to charitable organizations. They're doing their own fundraisers. And so we would love to have a better understanding of all that work that's being done over and above what the ORCF and the boards and associations are doing. We implemented a new program a couple years ago, which we call it our LEG program, or our Local Express Grants program. And we actually encourage individuals who are already fundraising for shelter and food insecurity, separate from the foundation, to process those funds through the foundation. And what we will do as a thank you is give you actually a top up. So we would top up to $1,000 per event, 10% of what you've made. We will donate to your charity of choice. So if that money goes through the foundation, then not only are you getting 100% of what you've already fundraised through your efforts, but you're getting a bit of a top up as a thank you through the foundation. And you know, those funds come from the work that we're doing, like the motorcycle ride for charity, for example.
That is actually, okay, that part I didn't know. That is awesome that you brought that up. And again, now when you look at it, it's not only you getting the extra muscle from the ORCF, you're getting a top up, and collectively, we as an industry get to go,
correct.
Look what we're doing. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Listen, guys, you know, to everybody that's in the industry that's going, okay, well, we you know, we're going to just sit there and keep gloating about how good we are. Yeah, we need to sometimes, because at the same time, there's a lot of people that question the value of a realtor these days. And we ask the questions around remaining relevant. And I come back to, we help people buy and sell real estate. And in this case, we're going to help people get into real estate, have that shelter that they need. It's all about helping people. And the more we help people, the more we are going to be helped.
Agreed. And who knows, it could be you or me one day, right? So it's always
good karma. You never know, right? You don't know
what'll happen.
Now let's transition here. I want to spend some time on the actual need here, or sort of maybe expand on that when we talk about the need, because it is really easy for us to talk about fundraising numbers and events, and sometimes lose sight of why we're doing any of this. But you had told me a story on a recent conversation we were having about a local food bank that actually had to close their doors simply because they ran out of supplies. And I thought maybe you could share that with us a little bit, and just maybe, you know, top that up with, you know, why is supporting shelter-related food and insecurity causes especially important today?
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of our boards and associations in Southwestern Ontario that was doing a golf tournament for this particular food bank. And I was going to the event. So I showed up the day before, and I walk into the office and everyone is just very sad. And I'm like, what's going on? And they were on the phone with the food bank that they were literally having their golf tournament for the next day, that had to close their doors because they ran out of food. And that is just devastating for that community. You know, when we look at the need, housing affordability and access to nourishing food remains top of mind for everyone. The increased cost of living, limited affordable rental availability, and the growing reliance on food program, it's being felt across the province, not just that one board and association. So to put it into perspective, nearly 85,000 Ontarians experienced known homelessness in 2025. That's a 50% increase since 2021.
Wow.
In Ontario alone, 45% of tenant households are spending 30% or more of their income on shelter. It's the highest in Canada. And then when you turn to look at the food banks, you have over 1 million Ontarians access food banks last year, with more than 8.7 million visits. And 1 in 4 of those individuals were dual employed. So both parents were working, and they still could not afford to house their children and feed them at the same time. So it's really something that we really should all be aware of, and just there's staggering results.
The numbers blow me away. It's almost like you sit here in the comfy of your own home and your business and your job and your money and everything else, and you don't necessarily realize, the world around you and how many people are being impacted by the cost of living, affordability, and all of the above. And I mean, when we say, forgive me how you said the dual jobs, like, both people in the household are working, they're still finding themselves having issues with it. I mean, I would say, I was about to say, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm going to say I probably do know about the rest of you when I say, like, when you look at those credit card bills in a month, and I know when I look at like the personal credit card bill, it's gasoline and groceries. And the numbers are ridiculously high.
Too, David, is that 1 in 16 Ontarians are using the food banks.
That's wild.
So somebody in that room, in that restaurant you're at, in the shopping mall, they're everywhere. And 1 in 16 of those people are using food banks, and you wouldn't even know.
Sometimes you got to realize how grateful we are, right?
100%.
So, yeah. Shannon, tell us about what is the Every Realtor campaign, and why should the average realtor know about this? What can we tell them?
Yeah, the Every Realtor campaign is our best kept secret, I swear to God. So a lot of people don't realize it, but every single realtor in Ontario who is a member of one of the 23 boards and associations across the province already donates to the foundation through their membership dues. So depending on the board that you are a member of, you donate either anywhere between $1 and $5 per member per month to the foundation. Collaboratively, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at it as a whole, that's $1.57 million last year that was donated through the Every Realtor campaign. And the nice thing about this program also is not only do we top up that amount for each board and association as well with an additional $1,000 that they can donate to the organizations in their communities, but 100% of that revenue plus that top up stays in your community and impacts the communities that you live and work in. And, if you wanted to learn more about it, I would encourage you to go on realtorscareontario.ca and click on our grants, and you can see the list of each region of where the grants were administered in 2025. Our grants are open right now for 2026, and we expect that amount of 1.57 to be a little bit higher this year. So we're really, really excited.
That is amazing. I was actually just going to ask you how the foundation does ensure that donations are actually making, that meaningful impact in those communities across Ontario. But it sounds like you guys have a really organized way of ensuring that, again, it's going to circle back to where it is that you want it to go.
We do. And the other thing that we find works really, really well is we actually leave it up to the boards and associations who have collected those dues and have provided that funding to the foundation to help make those decisions on where that funding goes in their communities. They know their communities better than I do. They know better where those needs are. A lot of those boards and associations are already funding a lot of charitable organizations in their communities. And it really does make a huge impact.
It really does. And as we do it together, it makes an even bigger impact. And so, if I asked you that, if every Ontario realtor contributed in some way, what could we accomplish together in this next year? What do you see as being sort of that next level? And I know you just alluded to sort of, even the growth of just how much we bring in.
Yeah, I mean, I think every dollar counts, right? Like $1 per member, $2 per member per month doesn't sound like a lot, but collectively it makes a huge difference. So what we could accomplish together is making a larger impact for those charitable organizations that are really struggling to make ends meet. It allows them, the funding that we provide gives them a little bit of breathing room so they can actually do their services better, allow them to continue to do the incredible work that they're doing in those communities, and to know that there's significant funding coming through the door.
Look, I think it goes without saying, the idea here is that we as an industry want to continue to get involved. And look, if I'm going to come at this from a pure mindshare perspective, and I'll go for a moment, very selfishly beyond, helping other people. For everybody tuned in right now, let's think about you helping you for a moment. Okay. What kind of positive light does this shine on you, your business, who you are as a person, your character, and what people can expect from you when you're taking part in something like this? And
Well, and I also think, if I'm purchasing a home, I would want to work with a realtor that is giving back to their community, right? So if I had to choose between two individuals, one is highly engaged in their community and understands some of the things that are happening and contributing to those that aren't, I would probably go with the one that was making a difference where I'm purchasing a home.
look, you're going to look at that person and from just, it's two different characters. And it's not to say that somebody who's not doing is not a good person. It's not what we're saying. Moreover, you start to have these little tipping points. What's that little value add? What's that thing that this person does versus that person does? It's going to sway me in a way to go, I'm going to make a decision to work with this person instead.
Yeah.
Right. And it's keeping that in mind. I mean, again, to everybody on a personal front, what can you use to promote it out there? How can you tell people what you're up to? I'll go even further than that and say, when you get involved with something like this, and we're going to start talking to that in a few moments here, but it's about the people you meet and the surroundings and your environment around you. The networking is incredible.
It is.
Right. So there's a lot of really amazing reasons and opportunities that can be totally beneficial to you when you decide to actually go help other people. And it's amazing how that all works, right? There's the power of reciprocity. Give,
for sure,
and you shall receive, but do not give, or do not give to receive, just give to give.
Correct.
And everything just seems to work itself out. Right. Okay. So, and we have done this podcast now. This is the 4th year in a row. And I do actually remember you being on the show a couple of years ago. So please, I did not forget. In saying that though, right, when we look back to literally a year ago now, Shannon, let's do a 1-year check-in here. Okay. I want to look at, what has changed with the ORCF over this past year, because in a crazy economy and in a crazy market and in uncertain times, and God knows all the above, you guys continue to grow and expand.
We are.
And it's super cool. Tell us about it. What's changed?
Yeah, this has been a really great year, to be honest. The last couple of years, we worked really hard to build that infrastructure that we need to be able to grow. And so now that we have been able to do that, we've starting to launch new programs for the foundation. So last year alone, we raised, as I mentioned, $2.6 million. To date, we've raised $22 million. And next year is our 50th anniversary of the foundation. So we are looking to do some sort of recognition of that milestone. It's an incredible milestone. And the other really exciting thing that we've done is we've offered easy and reliable ways to give. So we introduced this year our very first monthly giving program, so that now realtors can make a reoccurring monthly gift beyond their ERC or their Every Realtor campaign contributions. Because what we're hearing from a lot of realtors when we talk to them on golf courses or at events or AGMs, when they hear they're donating between the $1 and $5 per member per month, they're saying, well, we could do a lot better than that, right? So now we have an opportunity for them to do that. We also implemented this year a new leadership giving program. So we call it the Ontario Realtors Who Care. And it's a reoccurring, or it's a giving program that recognizes those individuals that want to make a larger philanthropic difference in the communities with a donation of $1,000 or more. And what comes with that is recognition opportunities for those individuals that want to let their clients know that they're making a difference and doing some of those sorts of things. So we've really started to focus more on the fundraising aspect to, 2.6 million is great. Be really great if we could do a lot more. And one of the events that we actually did this year, David, and I know you were there, was our Summer Cruise for Charity, which took place in Toronto just a few weeks ago, a little less than a month ago. It was a great fundraiser. It was brand new. And we raised over $22,000.
On just a little boat cruise?
On just a little tiny boat cruise.
You know, it's incredible because as you're saying these numbers, the thing that keeps coming back to me is, and where you said, some agents could pop in and they could give more money and they could see how they could top it up and beyond what they're already doing. And I think one thing that I found that is infectious in a positive way is that when you start giving and you realize how awesome it is to actually give, you actually want to give more.
Yeah.
And we've noticed that with our group, especially where we've had so many people who like just keep kind of like wanting to do more because there's just something really cool about the energy.
It is contagious for sure. It's that feel good, right? And it's that, that you're making a difference and supporting an organization that, has some really great values and really understands, the need in those communities.
I mean, look, when we look at the $22 million, right? 1.5 million in grants, like this all sounds absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's great. It's pretty great.
Shannon, is really great. It's a lot of money. And quite frankly, when I was putting all this together in preparation for today's show, and I was kind of thinking back to the numbers we've talked about in the past and like to just watch the growth that continues to happen and the work that, you continue to spearhead with an amazing team and just everybody collectively coming together. It is fantastic, so help us understand, what do those numbers actually mean at the ground level? Like what does that money actually do for people?
I think generally it makes a difference in the communities. It makes a difference to that 1 in 16 individuals within the province of Ontario that are using these resources that we're trying to fund. There's those food banks and those organizations that are helping. It gives us an opportunity to really make a difference collectively, not just the ORCF and the small team that we have. And we do have an amazing team, but with all of the volunteers and all of our board of directors and all of those that are not, and it doesn't even come down to necessarily, David, raising money. People can volunteer, make a difference that way. There's so many different ways that people can get involved.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. And we've seen, and we'll actually get talking to that in just a moment here. You know what? I'm going to pause us right there, then use that as a jumping off point to take a very quick commercial break right here. And I do want to acknowledge that this episode of the MindShare podcast is sponsored by Kit's Keep in Touch Systems, helping you generate more repeat and referral business by staying top of mind with the people who already know you, like you, and trust you. You can learn more about Kits at mindshare101.com by clicking on marketing. This episode is also sponsored by REM, our friends over at REM Real Estate Magazine. They are Canada's trusted source for news, insights, and what's actually happening across the real estate industry here in Canada. If you are looking to grow your business through coaching, momentum training, consulting, or you're looking for a speaker for your next event, head over to mindshare101.com. We'd love to speak with you. Now, in saying that, next up in September on the 23rd and 24th, MindShare 101 is very, very excited to once again join the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation for their annual motorcycle ride for charity. This ride is the foundation's flagship fundraiser supporting shelter and food insecurity organizations across Ontario. Guys, we depart on September 23rd from Aurora. We travel to Calabogie. We will stay and have some fun on overnight. We'll talk to that shortly. On day 2, we're going to rev up the engines back up in Calabogie and wrap up our day in Belleville, Ontario. It is going to be an incredibly fun and exciting 2-day ride for everybody, as it always is. Riders, you can join us for one day. You can join us for both days. You can join us for a few stops along the way. And please know that the ride is not just open to riders, but it is open to everybody. And that also means not just realtors. Okay, so if you know somebody that rides a motorcycle that wants to get involved, tell them to join us. If you are a realtor that doesn't ride a motorcycle and you want to get involved, get in touch with us. Join us. visit the link on the screen, realtorscareontario.ca/ride. All the information is there. And again, we'd love for you to get involved. And of course, if you're looking to pledge a rider, go see my name. Find my name. No, but any rider, there's a bunch of amazing people taking part in it. And again, as Shannon said earlier, every little bit goes a very long way. So we want to thank you all in advance for getting involved with the motorcycle ride for charity that we're putting on. All right, let's get back to this and get back in here, because I think that Shannon was a really awesome jumping off point for us right there. To really just talk about what we're doing and what's coming up. And as I just alluded to within all of that, I do want to start talking about the fun stuff here. And not to say that the raising money and helping people is not fun.
For sure.
But I just have a motorcycle problem. I mean, I don't think it's a problem, but whatever. But seriously, the motorcycle ride for charity is back. Please correct me if I'm wrong on this. 19th year?
19th year.
Incredible. I've been involved for the past 3. This is going to be number 4.
I know.
I mean, yes, I missed something for the first 15 years.
It's a great event. We have a really great, David, not only are you a sponsor, you're on our committee. We have a great committee of realtors and riders who really support this event every year. Last year, we raised over $68,000 from this event. And this year, our goal is $72,000, which I think is a pretty reasonable goal, considering how we've done in the past. The riders that are involved in the event seem to really enjoy it. The camaraderie of the ride is incredible. People love to get on their bikes and just go. The committee themselves are the ones that make the route. So they make it not just on the 401 or those main highways. We ride through some of the most beautiful areas and back roads of Ontario. And this year we're doing Eastern Ontario through 5 member boards and associations. So we have support from quite a few boards and associations in the region, and really looking forward to a great 2 days in the fall.
It is going to be absolutely amazing. Now, we just talked about a little bit about sort of the route. Is there anything that we can share with people for what else they can expect along the way during that journey of ours?
Yeah, we have some incredible stops this year. We have a lot of realtors that are starting to get involved in the event as well. We have the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. We've got CLAR. We have Renfrew. We have Rideau St. Lawrence. We have Kingston. They're all involved. So we're, at every stop that we have, we're doing a break stop or a lunch stop or a dinner stop at all of these. And these boards and associations are helping fund all of this and getting really involved. So if, you're a member of one of those boards and associations, we would encourage you to come out and just, welcome us into your communities and see us go. It's a great opportunity for us.
You know what? It is a super awesome opportunity. It's a lot of fun. I mean, when I think Shannon to, the ride itself, and I think about, everything that happens. I know last year, I made it up on day 2 based on scheduling. And I remember I made up there, forgive me, on the evening of day 1. And you guys were just basically getting into the hotel, had just come back from the day of riding, which I unfortunately just wasn't able to attend. But I got there for dinner. And I remember getting to the hotel, and I remember parking the bike, checking into my room, and it was go downstairs. And the minute I went downstairs, there was this whole section, sort of cordoned off for us. And you could tell it was the balloons were there, the signage was there. You knew there was an event that was about to start.
Yeah.
We had that private room with all the food and everybody was sitting around the tables. And I mean, I remember,
it was the Sudbury board.
Oh my God. They did such an amazing job. They did such an awesome job up there, with putting it together. And I mean, the dinner and just the fun and, the music going on and the people talking. It was really amazing. And what was cool for me, and I mean, look, it had been my third year. So naturally I knew a lot of the people that were there already and they knew me. So it wasn't like I was walking in as a total stranger. But it was almost like I'd been there all day with everybody.
Yeah, and then you know what we hear a lot from a lot of those first year riders, because we tend to have a core group of, hardened, we're doing the ride every year, that, regardless of where it is in Ontario, they're there. And then you have the other group that just join us if it's close by or if they are able to make it. And some of the first year riders last year were even saying, like, we're absolutely doing this again. Like, we felt so welcome. Everyone was so kind. It was a really great opportunity to build relationships with like-minded realtors who have the same thing in common, that, really want to give back to the community. So it's a great experience. But I mean, David, you've participated for the last 3 years. What's your experience been like?
Well, it's funny you ask, because like I come right back to that right now when we think about the first time around. And it's funny because as you were saying it, I was like, okay, what was my first time? And I got it. I remember we started from the yacht club out, I think it was in Ajax or Whitby.
It was in Whitby, yeah, Oshawa.
Okay. Now I'm going to let everybody behind the curtain for a second here. The most introverted extrovert you're ever going to find, right? So here I am rolling up on my bike, and I remember Jennifer was with me, and we're rolling up to the yacht club, and I remember seeing a bunch of bikes parked outside, and all I could think to myself was like, I wonder who's inside. Oh my God, am I feeling a little bit nervous? Like, I don't know who I'm going to see. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to say? And no joke, it was like the minute that you walked in there, and yes, of course, I saw some people I recognized, and some people who, recognized me, saw me, and we said hello. But then there's like a whole bunch of other people there that maybe you've never met. The best part about it was we were all there for the exact same reason. So it didn't matter if you didn't know each other. Right away, you became connected. Right away.
The other thing I really love about this group is, if somebody gets left back, if somebody's in trouble, if somebody, isn't sure which way to go, we've got people on that route that are just taking care of everybody so that everybody is feeling confident.
You know what? And look, we do. And that was one thing that I experienced. We had different levels of riders. We had people that were, very seasoned. We had people that you could tell just kind of just got their motorcycle license. There's the nice thing about the group that we've got. Let's say that veteran crew that's there, nobody gets left behind.
Correct.
Nobody gets left behind. Even if like a group starts to speed up a little bit, or you get, sort of caught at a red light, you're never going to be lost. You're never going to feel like you're by yourself. You're never going to feel like you are alone and lost. And I think just as being somebody who's been on a motorcycle journey many, many times through my life, and some very long ones, you are out there in the elements by yourself. It could be cold. It could be raining. I mean, these things can happen. We've got a really awesome group of people. And again, I'm going to say those of us, I like to include myself in us now, but those of us that have been around it, we fully understand like who's going to be there with us and the level of riding. And we all make sure very much so that, everybody's well taken care of.
So Dave, like in the 3 rides that you've done, like, has every ride to you been the same?
No, absolutely not. I mean, look, I think there's elements of it that are the same, and I think there's elements of it that are very different. Like I would look at, first, I am super, super pumped about this year's ride. Like I think I'm more excited about this year's ride than I have been, but
we go through near your cottage, right?
We do. But it's funny because as I say that, I'm like, I think I probably said that last year too. Because like you look at the route and you're like, oh my God, there's going to be a blast, and this year's amazing. I would say though, every year the route's a little bit different. Or very different. We're in different parts of the region. We're taking different roads. So you get to see a lot of different stuff, which is fantastic. But one thing that remains the same, and again, this is not meant to sound all fluffy and corny, like the people are amazing. You meet such a good group of people, and we are all different people, but we've all got, some like-minded interests at heart. 1 from the passion of motorcycles, 2 from the passion of helping people, 3 from the passion of trying to raise some funds and get the word out there. I mean, everybody's there doing the same thing. And here, Shannon, like you mentioned about the boards that get involved, right? And again, this is another one here when we say to people, join us. maybe you don't ride a motorcycle, like I've already said, but you're part of, whatever the board that we're going to be passing by. And again, you can see the entire list of details when you go over to the website, realtorscareontario.ca/ride. You'll see all the details, and you'll be able to see proximity to where you are. Is it a board that you belong to? Hey, come out. When
Yeah.
we roll in with the bikes, listen, for us, it's always nice to see a big crowd of people that are there just to smile and support you. But much the same, we're there to support you. And so when we see you guys, it's a lot of fun, and we get off and we get to talk, and you get to network with people you don't get to see on a regular basis. You get to have some fun and smile and share some good stories, and so I
Yeah.
would say a big thank you to all of the boards and all of the brokerages that have been involved
Agreed.
over the years, because there've been some fantastic people that have really been very generous for us, from breakfast to lunch to coffee stops, the signage, the promotion, the media that comes out. It's a great way to go out and connect with people and have a little bit of fun.
It really is, and they're really great. And I mean, we do have to remember that this is a fundraiser, so there
Yep.
are some fundraising expenses. So riders are paying $100 registration fee to ride, and $200 to participate in additional fundraising on top of that. So do you feel like that is good value for the event relative to what you get in return?
Listen, I would say that 1,000,000%, the value that's there. Again, like I don't know that I even look at it as like I have to pay $100 to be part of it or $200 to be part of it. To me, that money's just that's going to charity. That's going to help people. Right. So it's like, realistically, like, our goal is not $100 or $200, right? We've set our goal right now at $1,000 on our personal page. And as we have in the past years, we've surpassed that, and we hope to do the exact same thing this year.
Yeah, that's great. And then, so you've done this so many times with us, and you've fundraised so many times with us. Do you have any tips for raising money for those that might want to learn a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, where can I get started with everybody right now? I mean, look, to anybody that's ever doing anything like this, and let's do it like this for a moment. First, when you think about the value that's being provided, again, when it comes back to just having that, don't think about it, I've got to pay to be there. Think about, you're making a donation, and you're going to come ride and have a ton of fun and have an amazing, amazing experience. It's going to be awesome. It's like, it's Shannon, to answer that question very blunt, it's more than worth the money. Like, with what you're going to get out of it, it's just, again, and I rarely lose my words. I'm almost losing my words. That's how much, like, it's an awesome moment.
Yeah, I mean, for $100 registration fee per person, you're getting all your meals,
I was about to
all
say,
your snacks, everything for those 2 full days. So you're getting like 2 lunches, 2 dinners, one breakfast,
snacks that you can take with you on the bike. Exactly.
The boards and associations support with other things that they give us as well. So $100.
Well, I know last year we got
Yes,
these,
you got your
right? We got
t-shirt.
these,
Yes.
right? Every year there's something a little different, right?
Yeah.
But no, the value, I mean, that goes without saying, that is like beyond, just well beyond. So it's like, it's a moot point.
And we have a new initiative this year is to as well. We try to change it up every year, but this year the top fundraiser will be provided with a $500 gift card from Petro Canada.
I was going to say
gas, right? So we all know what the gas prices are right now. So an extra $500 can really help out. So that would
I'm going to circle back to that in a second, because I want to answer that question for you, because I think you asked a really good question around how can people get out there and get the word out. I'm going to take a quick moment to educate. Okay. To everybody tuned in, you have 7 ways to communicate with another person. 7. Okay. You got in person, by phone, text message. You got mail, email, social media, and your website. There's your 7 ways to communicate with people. We could talk about billboards and radio and TV ads, but we're not going to go that big right now. We're just going to talk to the 7 ways that you've got the ability to reach out and touch people. Now, you got 2 audiences. You got the people you know, and you got the people you don't know. Recognizing that the people you know, you can call, you can text, you can go see, you can email, you can mail, you can social, etc., but they're probably not visiting your website. Then you got the people you don't know. You can't text them, you can't email them, because you probably don't have their info. But as you get out there louder, when it comes to your social media and your website and what you're doing in the community physically, this is a way to talk to people. So the encouragement here when it comes back to how do we get the word out there, right? How could we raise more money? I'm going to challenge you right now. And this, the you is to all of you, to think to yourself right there, what am I doing with my social media? Am I sharing this to my page? Am I putting it on my stories? Am I talking about it consistently rather than just once, a month? Am I out there regularly? And I'll tell you right now, you go check our social media, specifically our social media stories. We're almost out there daily with all of this. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it's repetition and consistency, right? Think about your emails. What kind of email campaign are you putting out right now? I know for us, we've included in all of our emails that are going out right now, right? And we're sending 2 emails a week, right? Texting people. If you know people that you're very close with, you can send almost a little bit more of an informal text. Hey, I'm involved in this thing. Do me a favor. Go over to this link and donate whatever you can. When you've got that rapport with people, be straight with them. Right? You start to think about the calls that you're having with people, the conversations you're having. Hey, let people know what you're up to. Let them know what you're getting involved in. The more we continue to remind people, the more we continue to put it out there, the more we thank people publicly and privately. And I will tell you this as well, for every single person that's made a donation to me so far, you have, and those of you know, you've gotten a direct message from me very personally. Not a blanket email, not a blanket like on my Facebook page, but like an actual private message just saying, hey, I really appreciate you. Thank you. Because it means something. Right. And then think about bringing people that you know into the story. Right. Maybe there's somebody that's benefited from some of this. Maybe there's somebody that you did one of these events with. Maybe you can talk to them about it. I mean, that's what you and me are doing right now, Shan.
Yeah.
Right. We're having a conversation about it and trying to bring light to it. Right. So for everybody, again, when you think to yourself about how do I raise more funds? This could be a real pain. I don't know where to start. It's really not. 2 audiences, people you know and people you don't know, speak to both of them. 7 ways to communicate, leverage all of them. Through the right content strategy, all of this stuff becomes easy and moreover, incredibly fun. And most importantly, very successful. So those would be my 2 cents there when you ask the question around how do you go ahead and do that? And sorry, I had to ramble about that for just a moment because there's a bigger learning moment to it. And I will say to everybody right now, like as an aside, that's not even just isolated to like raising money on something. That could be just advertising your listing or going out and doing something else. 7 ways to communicate with people.
So were there any standout moments for you last year? I think I know what you're going to say. But,
I think, listen, I'll tell you, one of them was, again, the evening that I got there.
I knew it.
Everybody was just like, just having so much fun and on such a high from the day of the ride. And we had such a blast. But I think the coolest moment was the morning of.
Yes, I knew you were going to say this.
Well, it's funny too, because
for all of us,
I think some people are probably thinking, yeah, the morning of, we were all sitting in the parking lot waiting for you to come out of the hotel, being me. And I remember walking to the hotel with my bags and everybody's looking, they're like, Dave, you coming? And I'm like, oh shit, there's like 30 bikes with their motors running and I don't even have my helmet on yet. But the coolest part was not that, it was the person who left that business card on the windshield of one of the cars and said, hey, I want to be involved. Can you please come by my shop today? I want to give like, what was it? Like $1,000
$2,500.
A stranger. We never even met the person.
But not completely a stranger, because we found out later that they had recently purchased a commercial property and had a really great experience with a realtor. Right.
So they were actually giving back.
Correct.
Which was very cool, right? They were giving back, which was awesome. I mean, that for me, Shan, like, it's funny because if I go back over the past 4 years or past 3 years now, there's been so many moments. Like, I mean, this is one that I brought up last year too, and I'll say it again, but I remember the first time we were together and we got to the end of the entire event and we were like, let's top this up. And everybody was just like yanking their wallets out and just topping up. And we ended up smashing the goal.
Yeah.
And it was like, you sit there as a group of people who've just done all this work, and it was raining that time, if you remember.
It was.
And you go through the ride, raining and the cold weather and whatever, and you get out of it and you see all these people totally pumped and having a good time. Like, I know I'm getting a little bit too excited here. Forgive me, everybody.
And I think a lot of them are sad when it's over, right? So, they 2 days of riding is a significant commitment for those that want to do the full 2 days. But it's a lot of fun. And
whoa. It's not a big commitment. It's not a big commitment, everybody. It is 2 days on a motorcycle. There's absolutely nothing there that you have to sell me on. I will do that for free every single day of my life. But let's talk to that for a second too. Okay. Because when we look at where we're going this year, for people who ride, let's call it ups and downs and windies in the forest and just northern Ontario, it's going to be fantastic. And I think I told you this, but yes, because it's near the cottage, I did a stretch of this road a few weeks back. It's like they just paved the road yesterday.
Wow.
The lines are solid yellow. It's gorgeous. It's going to be so amazing.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. So what would you say to somebody who isn't a rider, but still wants to get involved?
Get involved. Get involved. Go over to, again here, go over to realtorscareontario.ca/ride. One, get a sense of exactly where we're going to be stopping and see if we're anywhere close to you geographically that you can make some time to come out and say hello.
Agreed. And then with that as well, join our social media, share our information.
Get the word out there.
Yeah, learn where we're going, learn where.
Well, think about it. We're all doing this together, right? We're all doing this again, realtors. So if I take this and I repost it on my social media and go, look what we as realtors are doing, makes me look good to people, doesn't it? It says to the audience out there, the people that know me, oh my God, look, he's involved. And to the people that don't know me, again, there's that value add, like why you might actually like me and get to know me, right? So if you don't ride a motorcycle, you can show up and join us. If you don't ride a motorcycle, you can help volunteer at any one of the stops because we need people involved. And you can also very easily go over and make a donation.
And sponsor.
Right? Go sponsor, make a donation, throw something in there that can help. I mean, there's lots of ways people can get involved. And I encourage anybody, whether you have two wheels or you don't, there are ways to do it. Leverage it. Leverage it. This is one of those events of the year that you want to be part of. Okay. So again, a reminder to everybody, as you're tuned into this right now, anything big or small, we ask you even right now, go over to realtorscareontario.ca/ride and get involved.
Agreed.
Now, Shannon, all this is it's all important. I don't want somebody here thinking, well, again, I don't ride, so this has nothing to do with me. Because again, it absolutely does. And last year we talked about the ride being bigger than motorcycles. And it's important just to say it again, it's realtors, it's partners, it's sponsors, it's communities coming together around one common mission. So I would ask you, for somebody who isn't riding this year, what would you say if we just said it? We said volunteer. We said come and attend one of the stops. We said donate, sponsor. What did we miss anything there?
I mean, I think the other thing that was really cool last year that kind of happened was when we were waiting for the ferry, we had we had one brokerage who had learned about the event, came over and was, cheering us on, hanging out with us while we were waiting for the ferry. And they actually did make a donation as well. So if you have a brokerage or, in those regions, we would encourage you to come out and connect with us as well.
I think you'd be remiss if you didn't. I really do. I think that it's such a cool opportunity to raise the level of the awareness for who you are and what you do. I mean, here I'll come back and I'll go straight to the brokers right now. We know that brokers have been, and this has just been a sort of a trend, we'll call it, over the past number of years. But recruit. We've also talked about retention, acquisition. M&A is a big topic. Mm-hmm. Realistically speaking, when you think about it, you want to raise the level of notoriety to you, yourself, your brokerage. We've got some of the most amazing people that are part of this entire industry, that are part of this entire organization and this ride, this foundation, right? And taking part in the event. You're going to meet people that you don't normally get to shake hands with. You're going to raise the level of the MindShare for you and your brand to another level just because you were physically there. And because we did it on a level where we're all here for one good cause. None of us is trying to sell each other on anything. It is all a very, very genuine approach to what it is we're all trying to accomplish together.
And I also think that it's meeting like-minded realtors that are making a difference in their communities, and it's referrals, right? So you have a lot of these realtors that are in different communities that you're not familiar with. And, you know, after the ride, I saw a lot of communication going back saying, hey, I have to sell a house in this region, like who can help me out, right? And these are the people that you start to engage with and build a relationship.
Hey, I look, I'll go backwards to that too when I say about the fun people. Like, I think it's, again, we've got our committee and we talk, but it's amazing how we throw jabs at each other. Like we poke at, like, fun at each other, like live on meetings, and we all
Yes.
laugh. Like we all laugh, and everybody knows it's like, I know who he or who she is. I know exactly where that came from like the heart, and it's good times, right? So you develop that camaraderie.
Agreed.
And when we come back to the know you, like you, trust you factor, you're building all three just by being involved, right? Just by being involved. So, Shane, let's talk about the logistics of the 2026 ride now. I want to get a little bit more specific for everybody so that there is some sense of, okay, how is this working? So let's get really specific here, okay? We start on the 23rd.
Correct.
We're starting in Aurora.
Yes.
We've got a specific meeting place where everybody's going to meet up for a specific time.
Correct.
Take us through a lay of the land. What can people expect? We get there, what's going on? What time are we kind of leaving? Where are we going? Kind of give us a sense of that.
So we welcome everyone in. It'll be at the Holiday Inn in Aurora, where we're starting. We try to have wheels up by 9 a.m. We try to do the route that isn't congested getting out of the city and, looking at some of those back roads. But we'll have a really great hearty breakfast for everyone before they go. We have some great speeches, some opportunities for people to understand a little bit more about the foundation. We always have a great group of people rallying us off and seeing us go. And then we start our journey. So our journey brings us from Aurora to Coboconk to Bancroft to Denby and then Calabogie at the end. Day 2, and Calabogie will be a great dinner too, right?
So right, we're staying overnight in Calabogie.
We are staying overnight, and
which, by the way, sorry, we do have hotels. They're already reserved.
Yep.
Obviously, you got to book your own room, but we've got room blocks. So for everybody, one that is already registered, make sure you watch for the email that came out, so you've got the links. For the same thing, that as you do get registered and you do take part, all the information will be provided to you, so you know where we're going to be at and what you can do to book a room. Because I'll tell you, that evening, even if you don't ride, that evening is going to be a ton of fun.
And we book the dinner purposely close by some of those hotels so that the riders can just take a break and have a couple of drinks and just let loose. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. And then day 2, we start with, again, a very hearty breakfast in Calabogie. We're going to Portland through Sydenham, Prince Edward, and then Belleville. We're ending in Belleville. So it's going to be a really great event. And as I mentioned before, like, we have the support with that route for those 2 days from 5 boards and associations across Eastern Ontario. So really great support system along the way.
And those stops are fun.
They are. They're all
we
different.
Pulled in.
Yeah.
Where did we pull in last year? There was media. There was cameras everywhere.
That was North Bay.
Yes, up in North Bay. That's right. The weather was really nice for us. We thought it was going to rain, but it didn't. Yeah, they had the media there.
Rained. You guys are troopers, right?
Oh, we've been rained on.
We were fine, and it always seems to work out. So
we've had years that have been cold. We've had years that have been rain.
We have. September is always the unknown, right?
Well, you know what? We've also had days that have been absolutely gorgeous, hot, and blue skies, and just nice weather, and the roads have been dry, and they've been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It is an absolute blast. It really, really is. And again, we want to really encourage everybody, get involved. You can go to the website, you can donate, you can join us for the ride. I mean, just get involved. Now, Shen, there's another side of this that I think really matters. We spend a lot of time talking about what realtors need from their communities. And I mean, things like, I need more listings, and I need more buyers, and I need more referrals, and I need more people to trust us. And like, we as an industry want more trust and more relevance. But we're also members of those communities. And we've got a real responsibility to show up. So, I mean,
Yeah. So curious, David, like what have you learned about realtors who consistently get involved with things like this?
Listen, I think from there, I think that there's so much to it, here, and I'll take that opportunity to go right back to group number 2 and the 7 ways to communicate and say, how am I going out and meeting one new person a day? Because if
Mhm.
everybody had a goal to meet one new person a day, that's 365 new quality opportunities in a year. And it's not that every single one of those people are going to buy or sell, but we've just met new people. And knowing that it's a relationship business, meeting people is a big part of everything we're doing. And so when you look and say, the people that do get involved, what happens? You get better known in your community.
Mhm.
You build a bigger community. You expand your community because I got people that live on the other side of the province that I'm buddies with now because of this ride.
Yeah.
That when we see each other, even at an event, we can go get a beer together and actually decompress as if we're not at the event because we've spent so much time just building rapport. Right. So you really expand your community, you expand your footprint, you expand that mind share. You've got bigger purpose. You're building some wonderful relationships with people. I mean, people are seeing you as somebody who gives. The reputation in the industry. Think about that. Like when I show up to this event, and I just use me because it's whatever me, right? You show up to the event, but like you see the people that are there. Again, we're all there for the same reason. We all have the same heart that's going towards this good cause. I now have a perception of who you are and the type of person you are, and you have that of me. And in both directions, whichever way we go, it's a positive. It's a positive outlook,
Yeah.
right? So
There's
that
a lot of
reputation,
really good laughs.
yeah,
Yeah.
that reputation
We
you
really
build,
do.
right? And I mean, look, all of this goes beyond so much, like well beyond the whole idea of buying and selling real estate. Right? This is about connecting with your community. This is about people seeing you for who you are. And again, when people see that, the real authentic version of you, that in of itself speaks volume about why they're going to want to connect with you further and have further conversations with you. All right. So here, Shannon, if you could challenge every realtor listening to do one thing after this podcast, what would it be?
Get involved, honestly. And there's so many ways that you can get involved, right? So follow us on social media at our handle is at ON Realtors Care. On Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, join our mailing list, find out what we're doing, realtorscareontario.ca, join our mailing list and learn some of the things that we're doing in your communities. I would say just, every act of generosity, no matter if it's a financial or it's, time, it just makes such a difference, right? And just to get involved.
I would echo that in a big way. Get involved, join us, do something, leverage this for you and your brand and really dig deep. And if you're still sitting there after this entire episode going, I still not sure how this benefits me. Hey, send me a one-on-one message. I'm happy to have a chat with you. I'm happy to work that through with you. Cause I'll tell you right now, after being involved for 4 years,
We
not
love
only
that.
have we done so much good together as a group, I can tell you very personally, as a brand, it's lifted us to another level with our brand recognition within the industry and what we do and how much heart and care we really do have for this industry and every single person within it.
And we really appreciate your involvement. It's really great. It's been a great partnership over the years, and I look forward to continuing that for years on.
Well, here, and as do we. We're very excited about that. Now, let's talk about looking ahead. Looking ahead 5 years, let's say 5 years, I guess, Shan, what's your vision for the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation and what role can realtors play in making that vision a reality for you?
Yeah, I think our vision is just to continue and expand and continue to grow that culture of philanthropy across the Ontario's real estate profession, right? We want realtors, every realtor, to understand the impact that they can make, not just through the collective giving, but individually as well. And, we're also really excited that next year's our 50th anniversary, right? Like such a huge milestone for us. So we are looking forward to recognizing all of those realtors and all of those individuals who've been involved in the foundation over the past, decades. to just thank them for their commitment.
I'm like, are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? I want to be on the ride already. I want to be on.
I know
be doing all this
it's
stuff,
going
right?
to come quick. It's just shy of a month away for the ride. So we're really looking forward to it. Planning is well underway, as you know.
Oh, it is. Is there anything that we missed today, maybe that we want to share that maybe we didn't cover? Any final words there, Shan?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the only thing that I can't stress enough is just thank you to this community of individuals and realtors and boards and associations who continually step up for us, continuously like support the work that we're doing, and is super engaged in some of those things. You know, we couldn't run this foundation without those individual realtors and those boards. And we really do appreciate the work that they're doing for us.
I would echo that. We have some absolutely amazing people involved.
It's a great community of people.
Everybody plays a role. Everybody, everybody. And that's why we keep saying big or small. Sometimes people say, well, what could I do? Well, how do I make the impact? Well, it's just me. Yeah, no, but all of it comes together to make it us and the collective of us. And again, this is everybody. This is about our industry, right? This is about who we are, as an industry, as individuals, as businesses, as, business owners, right? This is about all of it. And these are some fantastic ways that we can come together collectively. And the more of us come together, the stronger our voice is, the stronger our muscle is, and the bigger the impact we make.
Yeah. And those community organizations we're supporting are very grateful.
Absolutely. Shannon, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. As always, I enjoy this.
It's always a blast. We're very excited. And I want to thank, I also want to say a big thank you to everybody at the Ontario Realtors Care Foundation for the work that you continue to do, for all of you who are in the background right now, supporting Shannon and I on this live show, from the team that's there at the foundation directly, and to everybody, the extended family, to all the people you just listed off, Shannon. A big thank you to everybody. I mean, look, I've been involved in this ride now for it's going to be year 4. And there's a reason that MindShare 101 keeps coming back. There's a reason. And yes, of course, the ride itself is awesome. Yes, I get to ride a motorcycle. We get to ride. We ride through some absolutely beautiful parts of the province. And we meet some absolutely amazing people along the way. And of course, we have a ton of fun while doing it.
We do. We really do.
But look, that's really just the vehicle that brings us all together, right? That's all it is. Because the reason that we're there is actually so much bigger. It's that people in our communities, they need help. Food insecurity is real. Shelter insecurity is real. And when you hear that this foundation is approaching 50 years, has raised approximately $22 million and raised $2.6 million last year alone, is preparing to distribute another $1.5 million in grants. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what happens when a whole bunch of people decide to take action together. And hey, that's really our ask to you today. Okay. You don't need to ride a motorcycle. You don't need to write the biggest check. You just need to take some action. Come ride with us. Sponsor somebody who's riding. Make a donation, share the event, get your brokerage involved, learn more about the foundation. Because again, when enough people each do just a little bit together, we do a whole lot. Shannon, thank you again for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all the work you are doing over there tirelessly. You are doing absolutely. I've watched this thing grow for the past 4 years, being alongside with you, listening to your vision and just watching the effort. You're doing awesome. You are doing amazing. And again, a big thank you to the entire team at the ORCF. And of course, a big thank you to every single one of you for tuning in, for listening, and for helping us spread the word today. Again, I'm David Greenspan, reminding you to build the MindShare, because MindShare equals market share. Now, head on over to realtorscareontario.ca/ride to get involved, and we will catch you all next week. Thank you, everybody.